Hi beautifuls, Rita here. I haven't made an appearance here for a while. I really want you guys to go to my Telegram. I'm gonna be much more active there. I think all of us are getting much more active on Telegram or on our personal platforms because we're done with this censorship. It takes so much time and effort to do research, and then it takes even more time to edit it, take the time to put it on Instagram. And then when it's like that gets limited, you're like, I'm done, especially when you've been doing this for 2 years. So go follow me on Telegram, okay? All right. What else can I say when it comes to news? I know you're going to be like, Rita, you just came here to talk about your Telegram and you're going to just leave us like this? Okay, no. So so I hear that today, March 11th, is a really important date. We're in the shift, we're in it. Like I wrote in my previous stories, this is not a drill. So everything you've practiced, in your prayer life, in your meditation, in your consciousness, this is the time. This is the time when you want to use it to the fullest. The biggest part is don't give in to fear. And so everything, whether you're reading the Bible or other writings, books, whatever faith you're in, because I never take it for granted that I only speak to people who are Christians on this channel, because there's a whole humanity. So I hope I'm not just talking to people of just one faith. Do not fear is not just in the Bible, right? So fear feeds what we don't want for this earth and for humanity. It feeds it. When we give in to fear, we actually indirectly but very realistically consent to our destruction, individually and on the whole planet. So it's a very big deal. I think that's why in the Bible it says, do not fear, do not fear, do not fear. It means do not feed through your fear, through giving into your fear. You're feeding what you don't want. And I know that it's hard, but that's what I'm saying. This is the time to practice everything you've learned in your faith, everything you've learned in your meditations, in your prayers, in your wisdom, in your consciousness, Last point for those who are ready. I spoke about space arcs. This is where I'm at, okay? A lot of us actually are here, already, for what we call disclosure, okay? I understand not everybody's ready, and that's absolutely okay? But for those who are ready, I gotta speak, all right? Because this war is not about what we're being told it is about. It's not. So it just so happens that there's 2 space arcs in Ukraine, and they're very, very, very important. Think about all the movies and TV shows that are on Netflix, all the movies that have been in the theaters for the past few years. They're trying to tell us something. I know not everybody's ready. I get it. Okay. If you are ready to hear, or to open your mind, or you're curious, and you have peace about looking into it, I would say something actually. In those 2 years that I've been looking at information and my whole life, I say something very important. Have peace when you look into something. It's not just about curiosity. If you're doing it through anxiety, or because you want to, get information so that you can laugh at someone and make fun of them, that's ridiculous. When you learn something, do it for yourself, okay? There is value in that, in just growing yourself. If you have peace into looking into a subject, even though it's challenging because it would challenge what you have for sure so far, and I know that's a scary place, but if you have peace about it, I'd say look into it. There's a reason in the Bible it speaks about the renewing of our mind. And the renewing of our mind, like the renewing of anything, means taking out or updating what is old. And so it's very, very comfortable to stay in what we know, that is for sure. It's very comfortable, I know, because I've gone through it. But I've also felt the calling of looking into subjects. And sometimes it didn't feel comfortable. And it's okay. That's why, you go back into your faith, you pray your life, you meditate, and you see how it feels for you. You don't owe anybody your opinion. So your opinion is not, it's for you. It's not for anybody to approve of. I still see and I still believe that we're still holding opinions, making sure that we have opinions that satisfy others, that allow us to be part of groups, that allow us to be approved of, that allow us to sometimes keep our job or keep the people we love near. And it's a huge compromise. I think that in the end of the day, it's us that we let down because we're not renewing ourselves or growing where we should be growing because we're afraid to offend. Truly, by God's grace, especially this past 2 years, I've had the courage to allow myself to grow, to allow my mind to be renewed, despite, people getting offended around me, people thinking that I'm against them. It really hurts, and anybody who walks this path knows how much it hurts, because you never intend to hurt the people you love. You just want to grow and be allowed the freedom and the choice to think for yourself and to ask questions. In schools and universities around the world, people get attacked when they ask questions that the teacher, the professor, doesn't have answers to, or questions that challenge. In the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. It doesn't matter if anyone that is learning and searching, if they're right or wrong. Because society and humanity would not be here if somebody wasn't killed for asking questions or coming up with new ideas, right? Because before we used to kill people, now we just censor them. Well, we do the other thing too. But it doesn't matter. I could be wrong. And I always say I could be wrong or I could change my mind tomorrow. But what matters and what I want the freedom to have, and I wish everybody took that freedom, because freedom is yours to take, to think for themselves and to go and look into subjects that maybe are scary, but if you feel peace into to look into them, then do it. Because that's how we go forward. That's how our mind gets renewed. How can we renew our mind if we don't even allow for new possibility, new options, different options? If we allow only possibilities of what we see, then that's not renewal, right? Because what we see, we can say in many, many different ways, but it's still the same. Renewing your mind means allowing for something that almost feels like imagination, and that's why God is so great. It's because we cannot contain Him in our mind the way that it is. But the more we renew our mind, the more we understand Him better. We understand how divine we are. We just understand more because we get closer to Him as we allow our mind to open.